I don't like hoopty bounces on tractors. It's kind of a sad day on the farm when this day comes. You hope that you're going for that last bale from the last season, either after you've got your first couple 3 loads in for the new season, before you have to go get that last one. Unfortunately, this is it. Unfortunately. Sad sight. Well, good evening. Well, last week wasn't a real busy week, so our last video was kind of short. But this week we've got a lot of things going on, in that we have finally located some hay. Not going to be the best quality hay, but we have located some. So I'm going to be hauling in a load or 2 a night, best I can, between now and I guess probably Saturday. Unfortunately, with the trailer that I have and the truck, I can only haul right at about 5, maybe 6 bales at a time, depending on how heavy they are. And so I'm gonna have to get that done the next couple of nights. Well, we are finally locating some hay. It's not the best quality, but you know what? At this point, as difficult as it's going to be to find hay this year, if we can find enough, something to just satisfy them somewhat and keep them from feeling like they're starving to death, I'm okay with that. Doesn't have to be the best stuff in the world. I wish it could be. We can supplement some to make it doable. Hold on just a second. Okay. Sorry about the delay of game. Had to get that strap undone. So that bale is kind of there's a couple of smaller bales, a couple of bigger bales, but you know what? It's hay. They're not going to have to totally do without. And you start unloading. with a much smaller tractor. You can kind of get the wheelies a little bit. The slightest bounces, slightest bumps, that much weight on the front. Even though I've got the water tank on the back full of water, it's still not inclined, to say the least. Still get a lot of hoopty bounces. I don't like hoopty bounces on tractors. Stuff like this used to never bother me. I would have bounced two-wheeled and blah, blah, blah. But you know, the older I get, sometimes I don't know if you want to call it wisdom or if you just want to call it scaredy. I don't care what you want to call it. I call it living to fight another day. I'm going to park you on the back of the truck just for right now, because it's difficult to do all this at one time, but you'll get the idea, maybe. We were talking the other day, and we realized that we hadn't taken kind of done a section on the video of kind of the results from this first group of lambing, or last section of lambing. We still have a couple, maybe 3 groups to go, but this first group was a little bit thinner than what we usually.
Yeah, but it was all spur of the moment. We just decided that we had these open mamas that had been open for 3 months, and we had all a barn full of ewes waiting to deliver, and then the rams were just in the pen. So, last spring we decided we'd just throw them all out together. And so it was kind of all spur of the moment, and we just had probably 35, maybe 40, and threw them out there together. Didn't get any supplements, didn't use cedars. Just tried some early spraying. We threw the rams out in April.
Yeah. Which is a little bit
out of season.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we were just trying to kind of get a little earlier lambing.
That and we didn't want to feed 30, 35 ewes for a whole year with no babies on their side.
Right.
If it turns out well, I would like to go with the supplemental feed like we did with this next group this next spring.
Yeah.
And then hopefully more of them would be more acceptable.
Mm-hmm. And that supplement, we've talked about it before, is that MGA supplement where it suppresses their heat cycles until you remove the supplement, and then that way it kind of all brings them together. So we're kind of anxious to see. The second group is going to start around Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, they're due from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Right. So hopefully, the idea was, it was kind of hot at that time, which is kind of out of norm, but with that supplement, hopefully they all cycle real close together, which meant the rams had to cover fewer head in a shorter period of time. And hopefully we're looking for a little bit better lambing percentage on this next group, even though it's may not be picture perfect, but just to kind of see how the supplement works, because we've done cedars and the cedars did pretty well. But honestly, cedars are kind of cost restrictive, you know.
For us, anyway.
They are for us, yeah. And I mean, when you're talking about a package of 20 of them being, you know, $120 or something like
I
that.
think they're 125.
Yeah, I mean, it's just very cost restrictive. But we started with that 25 or 30 that was we originally put out. We, over a few weeks, added a few more, so probably wound up, what?
I had 45, 48, something like that, in the pen total.
So, out of the 45, roughly, how many did we have delivered?
19.
19 delivered. So, about a 41% delivery. Is that about right? 41%.
I'd have to get
Hand me my phone.
I'd have to get a machine.
Hand me my phone. I'm gonna get my machine. So we had 19 delivered out of 45,
Yeah, I think it's right. 45, 47.
which is 42.2%. So 42.2% of that group delivered, which is not horrible, but it's not fantastic. So how many lambs did we wind up?
We ended up a total of 25 lambs, which is 1.25 lambs per ewe,
For you?
which is pretty good, I guess.
It's
I
not
mean-
bad, you know, being out of season really. But the 25, does that count the
That's everything.
stillborn
That's
and
everything.
everything? Okay. Now, unfortunately, since we only had like about 19 deliver, that puts our mortality rate for the stillborns. Percentage-wise, it looks bad, but
It's a fifth.
it really wasn't. Yeah. So I think it came out to right at, like I said, like 24% or something like that on the mortality rate, because we only had 19 deliver and or
It's a
25.
fifth.
No, out of 25. That's right. So yeah.
It'd be a fifth.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, because we lost 5. We had 5 DOA.
Right. For various reasons.
Right.
One of them they saw in the video of the girl that had the one that was kind of holding up the works and caused issues for everything. So, I mean, that's kind of our results. 5 DOAs, so the mortality rate is a little high because we had so few lamb.
And then 2 of
But
those
we had
were
an even
little.
split though between the rams and the ewes.
True.
So, I mean, that was pretty even. It was right at 10 apiece.
It was 10 each.
10 each, yeah. So that's a little unusual.
I didn't look at the DOAs,
Right.
so I don't know if they were females or males. And that is something that I try to remember to do
Right.
this next group.
Right. So we just wanted to kind of sit
Ended
down
up with
and-
2 bottle babies.
Yeah, 2 bottle babies, littles. Dauber, and I don't know what the other one's being named as of
Just
yet.
baby.
So they're probably what, a month old now?
Oh, I don't
A
know.
little over a month old.
I'd have to check the book.
Yeah, let's look at the book and see how old they are.
The 15th.
15th of
One was
September.
born on the 13th, and one was born on the 15th.
15th. Okay. So they're not quite a month old, and they're
They
probably
will be next week.
They're probably just now right at what should have been their birth weight.
Yep. Yep.
They are tiny. But anyway, so just kind of wanted to go through and you know, kind of share with you some of the numbers from this last section. Like I said, the next lambing group will be around Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we'll go through once we finish up all that and get everything added up and figured up, and share the numbers with you on that. So hopefully we'll be looking at a little bit better percentage all the way around. Anything else you want to say?
And then the next group will be mid-February, like right after Valentine's Day, through the end of April. We will be having lambs. It's our stretched out, trying to catch everybody in season. So hopefully we'll be pretty much done by the end of March.
Right. And we have already talked about, and I shared some of that with them before in the past, about those that that get second chances and those that may not get second chances. Just kind of depends on how they do, um, whether this is their second or third opportunity. We've already decided there's one or two.
You've got 3 out of the 19 that are going.
Because just for various reasons. One of them we've had for a few years, and we haven't had a live delivery out of her for.
Which she is fostering this year.
Right. Yeah. Now that's
She
that
did
may
take
be
right.
something.
She did take right up to it.
Right. That may be something that might save her. I don't know, because we'll have to look at it, because she did assist with that one, and she's fostering that baby, and she has taken it as her own.
No problem at all.
She's very protective of it. She's very mothering for it, and feeding it well. So it might be something that might save her this year. But anyway, so that's just kind of what we came up with as we went through the numbers for this group. Looking forward to the next group. So make sure to join us for that when it comes that time, which, like I said, November, Thanksgiving to Christmas. So around 1st of January, we should have all of our numbers in and everything figured up and kind of know where we're at. And we'll also have an idea about how many of these lambs may be almost ready to go to market by January.
Yeah, end of January.
End of January. That's kind of our goal, because markets for lambs always seem to be really good.
In the early spring.
In the early spring, yeah. January, February, March, April gets a little,
Depends on where Easter falls.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Anything else? Nope. We're good, Dan.
Y'all
Thank
have a
y'all.
blessed day.